I want to welcome to the show for the first time one of the newest additions to the Progressive Army, a young guy. And we'll let him tell us his age if he wants to. But he has been writing with the Progressive Army now for a few months, and he has his own YouTube channel that I definitely want you to check out. Sahil Habibi, how's it going, man? Thanks so much for joining me.
Hey Ben, how's it going? I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing good, doing good. So I've read, I mean, obviously you're writing over there at the website that I'm one of the managers of, and I've read your work. You have a great voice, and I've seen some of your videos. Tell us just a little bit about yourself, and then, give me like 30 seconds about you, and then I want to jump into your article about the DNC.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm a writer at the Progressive Army. I also have a YouTube show currently. It's called The Progressive Voice. I like to make videos breaking down what's going on in the news. Find it a great hobby, and it's just something that I really enjoy doing. And I plan to continue moving forward doing that, and
Cool.
that's pretty much it.
Cool. So you wrote two articles. Well, you've written quite a few articles, but two that I want to touch on a little bit now.
Right.
The first one is about the DNC and the recent election of the chair. That they didn't elect anyone from the Sanders wing of the Democratic Party, and you have some reasons as to why, and you have some solutions, or not solutions, but some observations. Tell us about your article.
Okay, so in the article, first of all, when I saw the information, I was quite alarmed personally because I felt that, after a loss, because of the progressives feeling that they were shunned, and they were rightfully, they were cheated, I figured that, hey, you need to have some representation of it to be able to win. But
Hmm.
once I saw it, I was kind of alarmed to see that, hey, there's only super delegates, Obama administration officials, Hillary campaign officials. The treasurer is literally an investment banker.
Hmm.
So it was pretty clear that it was the establishment trying to fight back against the Sanders influence.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they succeeded. And I'm afraid that because there's a poll recently that came out in January that showed that 28% of people believe that they could concern them or align themselves with Republicans. They consider themselves Republicans. Only 25% consider themselves Democrat, and 44 consider themselves independent. So that is a result of centrism. And if there are less Democrats in the country and they elect someone like Hillary Clinton, again, like maybe a Cory Booker or whoever it may be, we're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
it
basically,
just legitimately worries me.
yeah, based on some of the numbers that you just threw out there, running Cory Booker in 2020 would almost ensure. Uh, we do have
Absolutely.
I mean, Donald Trump is an outlier. But if, let's say, Donald Trump starts conforming to be a normal president, a normal human being, let's say, because if he doesn't, then I think they could run the Tin Man, and the Tin Man could win. But let's say Donald Trump starts behaving like a decent human being, or not even decent, just not an asshole. Based on the numbers of people registered as Democrats, if we run a centrist like Cory Booker in 2020, it's a good chance Donald Trump will be here for 4 more years, based on what I'm reading here.
Well, absolutely, because clearly with Hillary Clinton, who is one of the biggest name recognitions in the country, Democrats were still not able to win. So it worries me more because the fact that Hillary Clinton was able to lose with such a supposed lead, imagine how hard it would be for her to win against someone who, as you said, may hypothetically wouldn't be an asshole if
Yeah.
she already lost and the Democrats are so marginalized in the first place.
Yeah, we are coming from a very marginalized position. I would agree. The only thing I'm concerned about is that Donald Trump may very well mellow out and not be as disgusting as he is on a regular basis, and that will really fool a lot of people into being comfortable with the idea of him being president for 8 years. But your second article is really one that I'm definitely interested in. You're talking about well, first, congratulations on the first article. I mean, it's you have like 28,000, 30,000 views on that article. That's a great read for any website, even our small website. That's a great read. But you have another article here talking about to neoliberals that Bush is not better than Trump, and this is the gospel truth, man. This is something that blew me away. Bush was on Ellen DeGeneres today, And it's like we're going back to normalize the guy who destabilized the world order. Well, not the world order, but the world, at least for a generation. Tell me about that article.
Okay, so of course George Bush, he's a guy who really, in my opinion, puts money interest over anything else, and because he's been coming out, and I think quite opportunistically, personally, him coming out saying that, oh, I don't like the quote racism and all that, I think it was very opportunistic, but
Yep.
it just shows you the problem with neoliberalism and how quickly people are able to jump in. Trump's only been in office for 1 month, and you're already going to say that Bush is somehow better when we spent 8 years. We got the literally greatest economic crash since the Great Depression, the Iraq War, which led to thousands of American soldiers dying, hundreds of thousands, and this count ranges from about 100,000 to 1 million Iraqi civilians killed in the war. The massive debt that we take on while they continuously say, hey, you can't have education, you can't have single payer healthcare. So this guy, and I go into talk about the Hurricane Katrina incident, and I kind of cite some statistics that say that African Americans were majority affected by it, and it kind of was tapping into the point that FEMA and George Bush didn't really care, and they didn't really do anything because of that. And also the whole scandal of him getting in office in the first place with the Bush v. Gore Supreme Court case. By most accounts, practically you looked at it, and the majority of the places, the caucuses in Florida that had voter rolls purged were African American because
I
they
was
knew
one of them.
that they were going to vote. Yeah, so they knew that they were going to vote Gore, and they specifically made these things called like butterfly ballots where even Pat Buchanan of the Reform Party came out and said, yeah, it's pretty clear that they're going to mess up because of the wordage and the verbiage of this ballot. So this idea that we can just forget everything Bush did, and I mean, it's just to me utterly ridiculous, and I can't believe that people are saying it. Maybe if we waited till the end of 8 years of Trump, and there really was a lot of things, but to say that 1 month of Trump is worse than 8 years of George Bush, I think is absolutely obscene.
It's unbelievable. I don't think first of all, before I say another word, man, you're great. Great analysis, spot on. I agree with every single thing that you said, especially about Bush. I mean, there's just no way that you could put them side by side. And I don't think that even after 4 years or even 8 years of Trump, the things that George Bush has done to the world are hurting millions of people and have been hurting us for 2003 so 14 years. 14 years of George Bush's ideological war and this war on terror has devastated so many lives globally. And now Democrats and liberals and neoliberals are embracing him like he's the voice of reason. I mean, I get it. What he said about Trump is true, but he should still just stay away from the public eye, go to his basement and paint for the rest of his life, and never leave the country because somebody might want to arrest him, depending on the country. But listen, thanks so much for your time, man. I want you to get the last word, but most importantly, tell everyone how they can get up with you and find your work.
Thanks so much for having me on, man. You can check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/the Progressive Voice. You can check out my articles on Progressive Army and follow me on Twitter at Progress Voice. I really appreciate coming on, and I hope to once again, man. Thanks.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks so much for being here. That is Sahil Habibi. And if I pronounced it wrong, man, charge it to my head, not my heart, man. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. All right.
Thank you very much.